welcome to The Breakfast Show with Skafy and friends. This is the best place to start your day with positive and uplifting thoughts. You're listening across Australia on 87.6, 87.8 or 88, depending on where you are, or through our website or mobile app. Faith FM Australia, you can download it for free. Today, if it is Monday, the 19th of January, and I am in the studio today with none other than Lindsay Lou. Good morning to you, Lindsay.
Hi, it's just Lindsay, but Lindsay Lou works, I guess.
That's right, all right, okay. And of course, I have producer Shell at the desk. Good morning to you, producer Shell. Lindsay, let's start with a word of gratitude, shall we?
Let's.
Okay, I have something to share with you.
Mm-hmm.
I am grateful for when you pray and God give immediate answers. And in particular, when you pray in front of your friends that do not believe in God.
Oh, that's so good.
And so yesterday, I decided to go for a bike ride with my friend who's not a Christian. And yesterday here in Newcastle, the weather was very unstable.
Oh,
it was
crazy.
raining a lot.
Yeah.
And we actually thought about just canceling our bike trip, our bike ride. We had organized, had made plans a week before. We were excited to go. And there was like a little window of dryness in the afternoon. It's okay, let's seize it. Let's just go for it. And by the time that we get our bicycles, guess what happened? It started to rain all over again. It started to rain again. My friend, took the radar, like the weather radar from his phone, and he was looking at it and said, this is very weird because the radar showed there's not supposed to be any raining clouds today. What should we do? And I said, well, let's pray first. And let's ask God to see if he can stop the rain for us. Mm-hmm. If not, well, we can just go back home, or, worst case scenario, we can just ride in the rain. And we pray to God. I pray to God, and guess what happened? Like 1 minute later, stopped raining.
That's so good.
Off we went riding. So I really hope that experience will stick with him.
That is so good. I'm so glad to hear that story.
What about you?
Well, actually, so yesterday I was chatting. So the last few weeks I've been away at a summer camp. And I've been having a ball. It's been such a good time. And yesterday, just before all the kids were sent home on the bus or however they were getting home, I was chatting to two teenage girls, and one of them was sharing a story about how God comforted her this past week. So her cabin were... They got a prize for something, and so they got to go early morning water skiing. And it was all skill activities. It wasn't just going on the back of a biscuit and bouncing around. It was, standing up and holding on and all the things that I probably could never do.
A biscuit, like, wouldn't it dissolve in the oil?
Like a big rubber tube called a biscuit.
Okay.
And so she was telling me that she was cold and sitting in the water because the water was warmer than the air outside. This is like 5 a.m. before breakfast. And so she was like, oh God, I don't know how to do these skills. And can you please just, if you want me to do it, give me a sign. And as she was sitting in the water, she had all these teeny tiny little fish come around her and sit in a circle around her, like not a circle. It wasn't at the front. It was all around her back and her sides. And she was like, it was God hugging her with these cute little fishes.
Oh,
and
that
they were
is
just there for
so
her.
cool.
And I was like, that is the coolest story of God immediately answering and just giving someone that comfort that she needs. And she got up, and then when she went and did the skill activity, she did it great. And she didn't fall off or anything. She was having a great time.
You gotta love when God sends fishes to love you. Thank you, Jesus. That is an amazing story.
That was so good.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing that one. And in today's show, we are going to start looking at the story of Joseph in the Bible, and in particular, how to deal with jealousy. If you ever felt that. How do we deal with jealousy? Later then, we are going to be talking about the longest eclipse of probably all times coming up very, very soon, and why more Protestant churches in America are closing than new ones opening up. What's behind that? That's going to be a bit of an interesting history lesson. And we're going to have Justin Lawson joining us later at 7:35 a.m. He's going to be sharing everything that is going on around the world of interest, in particular for Bible prophecies.
You're listening to the Breakfast Show podcast on Faith FM. Positively different.
Very good. Well, let's get into our Bible study today. Lindsay, we're studying a new story. And I get excited when we're studying a new story. This week, we're going to be looking at the story of Joseph. Why Joseph? Well, because we are reading the Bible in a year here in the studio. And we are using the Amazing Facts Bible Study Plan.
Oh, are we?
Which is the best Bible reading plan in existence so far. And the reason being, it divides the Bible into like 4 little segments.
Okay.
Because a lot of times when people are reading the Bible, they read the Bible from start to finish in a year. And a lot of people give up by the time that they reach Leviticus.
Yeah.
With this Bible study plan, though, it's different. Because you read a little bit of the Old Testament, a little bit of the Bible poetry like Psalms and Proverbs, a little bit of the Gospels, and a little bit of the other books in the New Testament. So there's always something interesting to be read.
That does sound good. I used to go through a Bible study plan similar to that. It was Old Testament and then Psalms or Proverbs and then something from the New Testament every single day.
Okay, so 3 streams.
Yeah, 3 streams.
This one has 4
That's
strands,
so good.
like a pretzel.
It's good to have the Gospel every single day.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that specifically in
Absolutely.
there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And sometimes when you're going through the epistles, it can be a little bit theoretical. So maybe you are in the day to read it, maybe you're not. So there's always something for everyone in this day. It takes about 10-15 minute commitment. How do you access that resource? You can Google Amazing Facts Bible Reading Plan, or you can text me here, #Bible Plan, and we are going to send you a copy.
Oh, awesome. So good.
So this week, one of the readings was Genesis chapter 37, the story of Joseph, and that's where we are starting today. Genesis chapter 37, Lindsay, would you please start reading it for us?
Sure. Now Jacob dwelt in the land where his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. This is the history of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers. And the lad was with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought a bad report of them to his father. Oh, he's a snitch. You know what happens to snitches. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age. Also, he had made him a tunic of many colors.
Okay, let's just pause here for a little while. Okay. Let's pause here to give the context. First thing that I find really interesting here is that idea. Here's the story of Jacob. And then the Bible starts. Joseph was 17 years of age when pasturing the flock. Have you ever noticed that?
No, but that's a really interesting thing to point out, that this is Jacob's story.
Yeah.
Because of his sons.
Yeah. So in the Hebrew philosophy, there is this idea that the son is the person who tells the story of the father. Mm-hmm. So kind of like if you have seen the son, you have seen the father. Well, Jesus used that, right? But it was a proverb at the time.
Interesting.
So when the Bible is talking about Jacob, it's like, hey, okay, I'm going to tell the story of Jacob. Let's pay attention to his sons and what happened. Because you will be able to know who the father is based on how what the sons did, how the sons behaved, and how the father reacted to the sons. That's going to tell the story.
How engaged was he with it all?
I think that this brings us a lot of responsibility. It brings some responsibility to us because it's saying, hey, Lindsay, who's telling the story of your parents? You. You're going to be telling the story of your parents.
That's so true.
And same thing to me. And ultimately, do you know who's going to tell this world the story of our Heavenly Father?
Yeah.
It's us.
We are his children.
Yeah. His children. People will know if we have a good Heavenly Father or not, well, based on our life. So our life will tell people, basically, what kind of Heavenly Father we do have. So just like a little interesting point there. And Joseph was 17. As you mentioned, he brought back bad reports about them to their father. Let's talk about that one. What do you think about that? Do you think that this is a bad thing or this is a good thing?
Oh, well, I don't think his brothers would have enjoyed it. But they're also bigger and stronger and meaner than he is, so we'll see what happens with that in a minute.
But look, if the brothers are doing something wrong, do you think that it's right for one of the siblings to come back to mom and dad and say, Dad, Mom, this is what brother so-and-so and sister so-and-so doing? Do you think that what should prevail here? Giving an accurate report to the parents so that the parents can do something about it, or kind of a siding with your siblings and kind of hiding from them?
Well,
or is there an in-between?
In that time and in that culture, I believe, like, being on your sibling's side was actually very important. I don't know if you've seen that in the Bible before.
Yes.
Yeah, there was certainly a lot of alliance between siblings.
Yeah.
But in this case, that's not happening. So Joseph is the son of the favorite wife, and his dad's got 4 wives. So 2 wives, 2 concubines. There's 10 kids by the wife, the other wife, and the 2 other concubines. So three women, and then his mum has him and a younger brother later on. And so she's the favorite wife, he's the favorite son, and there's all this favoritism happening. And now with this favorite kid, he's snitching on his older brothers.
Yeah. Look, I think that there's a good point there. So Joseph, when he looked at the other brothers, they were like the others because there's a lot of rivalry between his mom and all of the other moms out there. I believe that Rachel had a little bit of a chip on her shoulder, from what we can see from her, because it took a long, long time for her to have a child. Yeah. While her sister, who was less pretty than her, was having, and then there is the element here of Jacob being, doing the very thing that he kind of was a victim of, which is favoritism. Yeah. It didn't play out well for him. Yeah. That he was not his father's favorite.
That's true. He was his mother's favorite.
He was his mother's favorite. And now he has a favorite as well. So, there is that element of, hey, we pass on into our children the good and the bad things that we have inherited from our parents.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's something to be aware. But I'll tell you this. I think I encountered similar situations when I served in the army. So I served in the army when I was in Brazil for a couple of years. And in the army, there's always also the same question. Like, when you see your colleagues in the army doing something that they shouldn't, do you report them to your superiors or do you hide them? And the thing is, sometimes what they're doing can impact you.
Right.
Particularly if they're doing something reckless or something, stupid or something like that. What do you do in this case? I think I found a little bit of a balance.
Okay.
And I have to implement. I want to implement that into my life, particularly in my kids. What is the balance? If you see your brother sinning, either against you or against themselves or whatever, you go and talk to them. Imagine if Joseph would have said to his siblings, "Say, hey, siblings, what you're doing is wrong. Can you please stop it? Because I also have a duty to Dad, and at some point, if you keep on doing these things, I will have to say it, to tell it to Father, because you are not looking well after his flocks and you're causing him economic damage."
Yeah, true.
And so he kind of declared intention, say, hey, look, I don't want to be doing this because I don't want you to look bad before Dad. But look, at the same time, what you're doing, it's not the right way of shepherding the sheep. I think that would have been a better way rather than, hey, I'm going to go behind your back, tell Dad so that Dad can give you a hard time. Because that will backfire. And I have been a victim of that, and I think I'm probably the perpetrator of that as well. Yeah. But I have been in situations where someone had a beef with me, and instead of talking to me, they went to talk to someone that had authority over me, either my parents or my boss, and something.
That's no fun.
Hey, Skafy did this and that. And didn't even give me the chance to say, I didn't even know that I was doing something wrong here. And now I'm, now I have to cope with a lot of trouble for absolutely no reason. Yeah. It could have just as easily, the person, hey, Skafy, you're doing this. Are you sure you want to do this? Oh, sorry, I didn't even realize I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'll definitely do this, in a different way. Had that ever happened to you?
Yeah, multiple times. It's not fun.
So do you tend to be the snitcher or the snitched on?
Oh, I feel like, I don't know, probably a bit of both. I think it's happened both ways in the past.
Okay, so producer Shell, let's see what Lindsay's going to tell you about me after the end of this program.
No, I am pretty assertive, so I typically will talk to people to their face. Okay. At this point in my life. Thing. But I think it's also important to notice here that Joseph's 17 at this point in the story.
Yeah.
And how
Good point.
How many 17-year-olds do you know that are mature enough to go and talk to someone to their face if they have an issue?
No,
with them?
zero. That's why they need a
I think there
coaching.
are some, but not a lot.
Look, I think that if Jacob had the spiritual maturity that the Bible teaches us, he'll say, okay, Joseph, I appreciate that you're bringing a bad report from your brothers to me, but if I give your brothers a hard time because of what you said, they're going to turn against you. So instead, why don't you go back to them and you try to talk to them about it? And you can say, hey, if you don't do this, then I'll have to talk to Father about it. But I don't want to do this. Try this. Give it a bit of a coaching, which, by the way, did not happen in that story.
I mean, I can't imagine Jacob doing that, considering his relationship with Esau was not like that.
No.
So he doesn't even have the skills to mentor his sons.
That's right.
Do good brotherhood.
And actually, I would say that he even threw a little bit of fuel in that fire because he gave Joseph a multicolored tunic. The multicolored tunic was a festive or like a special tunic. It was not like your everyday work clothes.
No, it was kind of like a symbol of like being a prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's kind of saying, hey, by the way, Joseph, my youngest son, he's your manager. All of you, he has authority over you, brother. So he didn't make the situation any easier for his brothers.
Yeah.
And we'll see that these brothers are going to start building some real resentment and jealousy.
That would have fed into Joseph's arrogance as well as the jealousy from the brothers. Yeah.
So we will see what will happen later.
You're listening to the Breakfast Show podcast on Faith FM. Positively different.
We are going to now reveal the answer to the quiz question. What was Lot in relation to Abraham?
His nephew.
His nephew. Yes.
Well, Skafy's answer was his nephew.
Favorite nephew, of course, because he moved all the way from Ur of the Chaldeans to the Promised Land with Abraham. I mean, they had spent a lot of time walking together in the wilderness, getting to know each other. So surely they have to be
besties by now.
Besties.
I don't know. There probably was some other nephews that just stayed with Abraham and didn't go off and take the best land.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's right. Maybe. Very good. So David got the right answer in. Sherry as well. So well done to both of you. We are now going to serve you a new quiz question. So producer Shell, please, what do you have for us?
Who replaced Judas Iscariot as one of the 12 disciples? What was the name of the person who replaced Judas Iscariot as one of the 12?
I got that one wrong.
But I think that was an option.
Was it?
It was a... What?
What?
Sorry, I got the wrong story.
No, that was incorrect.
I got two very, very wrong answers, but Lindsay's was at least, I think, somebody who was in the running at the time.
Oh, wow.
This guy here.
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't have picked that one. Okay. Cool.
Yes. Okay. You put Steve-O for
I
your
put Steve-O.
first answer.
Stephen was a deacon, not a disciple.
That's right.
not
I was
apostle.
mixing up the stories a little bit.
Okay.
In
So
my
you were
brain.
thinking of
But
Stephen.
then I thought of the right person. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Very
not
good.
Stephen, guys.
Our phone number here is 0491-064-669 for you to play along with us. 0491-064-669. Who replaced Judas Iscariot as one of the 12 disciples?
Oh, do we have this is a multiple answer? No, multiple choice? Okay, you just have
So
to
when
know.
she said
I'm-
that was one in the running, like in the story,
okay,
they were
'Cause
praying
there
over
are
a few
two
different
guys,
people.
right? I think there's like two people that they were praying for, if my memory serves me right. So
And
you
I
got the other one.
I got the runner-up.
Yeah. Okay. I thank you for that because I was always cheering for the other one to be selected for reasons that you might learn later today.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back into the story here because we're building a picture here of Joseph being quite a spoiled child, the favorite of his father, the son of his favorite wife.
A little bit of a brat.
Not only the favorite wife, but really the love of his life, if you want to use that term.
Yeah.
Because Rachel was like, the girl
The
of
dream girl.
the dream girl of Jacob. And she was barren. So he was also favorite because she conceived by a miracle.
Yeah. This was the rainbow baby.
Yes. Joseph was very competent. You can see that he had a very strong work ethics. He was very faithful to his father, obedient, different from the other kids. So there's a lot going on for him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as you mentioned, sometimes, there's a little bit of that, maybe an arrogance.
Immaturity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he was a diamond in the rough. Let's put it like that.
yes. Okay. I like how you put it there. So let's see what happens with his brothers. In light of particularly Joseph bringing in constantly bad reports about their brothers to his father. So let's read verse 4, please, Lindsay, and onwards.
Okay, verse 4. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him. That's pretty rough. Now Joseph had a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him even more. So he said to them, "Please hear this dream which I have dreamed. There we were, binding sheaves in the field. Then behold, my sheaf arose and also stood upright. And indeed your sheaves stood all around and bowed down to my sheaf." And his brother said to him, "Shall you indeed reign over us? Or shall you indeed have dominion over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words.
Let's just pause here. How many times have you noticed the word hated him?
This is like at least a third time.
Third time, yes. So when we have repetitions in the Bible, it's basically saying, hey,
pay attention.
But his brothers absolutely hated him. First off, because they realized that dad loved him more. Mm-hmm. That was the beginning of the pangs.
He was already a snitch. Dad loves him more.
Then he comes out with this multicolored coat.
Yep.
And then Joseph had this dream. And the brothers were interpreting this dream for them, saying, "Hey, are you going to rule over us? I mean, is it not enough that Dad is giving you the multicolored coat, and on top of that, you are
grasping for rulership?
Yeah, now you're saying that God also that God is also giving that to you.
Wow,
that you're also God's favorite, not only Dad's favorite. You're not even satisfied and content with that, and you're trying to make do you want us to serve you?" The younger brother, which, by the way, in a Middle Eastern culture, the younger brother serves the older ones, not the other way around.
That's right. The oldest brother always had the priority. Yeah.
So then the younger brother is no one in the food chain.
Mm-hmm. What an upstart.
Yes. So much so that when you think about the story of David, him being the absolute youngest brother, he was so despised that his father did not even consider him.
Yeah.
When the prophet Samuel came to anoint one of his sons as a king.
Didn't even say, "Oh, yeah, can you go get that eighth kid out from the fields with the smelly sheep?" And
that's right.
No, just leave him there.
A lot of people even consider, they kind of use that to say, they kind of blame David's mother, because there is a theory that David's was not a legitimate son of just his father. By the way, the Bible never says that at all. And people used that event as proof that, hey, the father despised David. But it was just because he was a kid, he was the youngest, and it was not even going to come to the head of any father that, hey, are you going to get like the youngest kid to be anything other than just the family servant? So there is that dynamic as well. That often people don't mention. So let's keep reading here, verse 9, and see what happened.
Verse 9. Then he dreamed still another dream. So he's already got one dream at this point. He's got another dream now. And he told it to his brothers and said, "Look, I have dreamed another dream. And this time the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me."
So,
wow.
So he's adding insult to injury with that dream.
It's like, not only is God making me like the most important in this family, but he's making the whole sun, moon, and stars like to represent this family bowing down to me.
Even mom and dad are going to serve me.
Yeah, whoa. So he told it to his father and his brothers, and his father rebuked him. This is the first time we see a rebuke at all from Dad.
It's kind of like, Joseph, you just have to stop it, man.
Stop it, kid.
Stop it. Yeah. It's getting
You're bringing me into
unsustainable.
this. We don't need that. And said to him, what is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall your mother and I and your brothers indeed come to bow down to the earth before you? And his brothers envied him, but his father kept the matter in mind.
Yeah. The brothers envied him. They were jealous. Now, let's just pause here and talk a little bit about jealousy, okay? How powerful of an emotion jealousy can be, do you think?
Oh, I think there's a Bible verse that says it's more powerful than the grave.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that
Is
one.
that in Song of Solomon?
Love.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
love.
was jealousy.
Yeah.
No, that's love. Okay, I got that wrong.
Yeah.
Don't
A
mind
lot
me.
of people consider jealousy to be one of the strongest emotions out there. Think about like things that, people do when they're jealous. Have you heard about a story? And by the way, there are different ways that I think men and women do, but like, have you heard stories about men that were so jealous of their exes or women that were so jealous of their exes that they went around and did some really crazy things?
Yeah? What crazy things are you thinking of?
Man, I mean, even taking their lives out of jealousy sometimes.
Yeah?
So jealousy can be a very powerful emotion. My question is, how do we deal with jealousy? How do you deal with jealousy, Lindsay? Do you have a Bible text here that you want to share?
I got it right, by the way.
Okay.
Song of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 6. It's one of the last verses. It says, set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm, for love is as strong as death, jealousy as cruel as the grave.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's as cruel as the grave.
Yeah, as severe as the grave. Like, jealousy is like death. Like, it's just like
that is
stronger.
a strong emotion.
Yeah, it's a very strong emotion.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Okay, sorry, you were asking a
Yeah,
question.
so I'm asking you this question here. How do we deal with jealousy? Like, what's the right way to deal with it? What have you found out about it? Like, have you ever felt jealous about someone or something,
Yeah.
some situation?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that story, perhaps? And how to deal with it?
I feel
You
like
don't need to name names
No,
just in generic terms.
this is going to sound so weird. So back when I was a first year student at uni, this is like 11 years ago now, there was a girl who was a year ahead of me, and she is just the most gorgeous thing to this day. She is so pretty, and all of the guys were head over heels for her, and all the guys that I were interested in like were just in love with her. And I was like, she is the worst person because everyone is interested in her. She doesn't like any of the
She
back.
has the smarts. She has the looks.
She's got the monopoly on all of their attention. There's nothing left for me or anyone else. So I was so jealous of her. And she's beautiful. She's spiritual. She's just like an amazing person.
Yeah.
And I just hated her.
Because if she was a terrible person, you could say, but look, she's terrible. She's like
she was
Cruella.
only good.
Yeah.
Only good in every sense. And I hated her for it. Like, this is immature 18-year-old
yeah.
Lindsay. Okay. So, yeah. And I was like,
How old are you now? Like 19?
30.
Just kidding. All right.
Mate. And so I was like telling myself, all right, I only have to wait another 3 years until she's gone.
Okay.
And like now I've interacted with her since and we're fine. Like, she's so sweet, so lovely. But I just remember being like, I just have to wait a few more years and then she's out of here. I don't have to see her ever again, sort of thing. Like, she won't be in my life. It was so just, it didn't make any sense that I felt that way. It was just so selfish. That's where it came from, that selfishness of she has all the things that I can't seem to have right now. And I just put all of my emotion about the things that I thought I was lacking on this person who had all those things. So, yeah, I think that's where
very
jealousy
interesting. Look,
came
I can
from.
remember my first, I have my first memory of jealousy. I think it was one of the strongest one. I almost set my brother on fire.
What?
Like, literally, of jealousy.
Almost?
So,
Okay.
almost. I'll tell you what happened. I think I was 6 years old.
Okay.
Maybe, I think 6 or 7 years old. Maybe 6. And we are in my family used to have like a small little farm. And we were there enjoying the night. And I have this, older cousin that I really admired, And he had some of his friends coming up. And they were really nice guys, and they were, giving us young, boys some attention, and just like interacting with us and making us feel special. And I was really enjoying their attention. And and then my little brother came along, and then all the attention shifted from me to my young brother.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, man, what are they talking about? My young brother is not even that cool at all. Like they should be just, pampering me, giving me the attention, not my brother. Like he doesn't do anything. He's a bit of a deadbeat, And I was so jealous that he was getting so much more attention, and I wanted that attention.
Yeah.
That there was a little fire going on, and I took a little stub from that fire, a little branch with some fire on the tip.
Yep, put a flame on the stick. Yep.
And my brother was wearing, I remember to this day, it was dark, it was evening. He was wearing this like Mickey Mouse green jersey of like a synthetic kind of woolly fleece material. Probably should be very flammable.
Yeah.
And as he was going back up, I got that fiery end of the branch of the stick, and I kind of stick in his back. Oh, no. And he didn't even realize it, but it made a hole through, and by God's grace, that whole thing didn't catch on fire. Yeah. But I remember I did that out of jealousy, but I also remember the instant guilt that came to me right after that. And I felt like so guilty because I realized, hey, actually I love my brother. And I just, chucked that, branch out, and I gave my brother this massive hug. And he was like thinking, why are you giving me just a random hug?
Yeah, he's like, what is going on?
What's going on? And then
but you'd like nearly tried to murder him.
I did. I actually wanted him to, or I really wanted to hurt him.
Yeah.
But this is how powerful jealousy can be. So how do we deal with jealousy? I learned this thing to deal with jealousy, and I use this with my kids. And the key word to dealing with jealousy is the word special. And someone has something special, like for example, that friend of yours. But guess what? She has something special, but God has also something special for me that she won't be able to have.
Yeah.
I'd say this to my kids. Kids, who do I love more? You or your sister, you or your brother. And I taught them that I don't want them to think that I love both of them equally, because that's not true. There will be, because if I say that I love them equally, it means that I have to spend the exact same amount of time with one, the exact same amount of time with the other, and sometimes they have different needs.
Yeah.
So this is what I teach them. Say, hey, I love each one of you in a special way.
Yeah.
I love your sister in a way that I only love her. I love you in a way that I only love you.
That's so cool.
And when we realize, hey, you know what? Yes, so-and-so, they have something really, really special. But guess what? If I look to God, God's going to give me something that is really, really special just for me that nobody else will have. And I think this is one way to deal with jealousy, to realize that, hey, you know what? That person's life, it's their life, and it would be terrible if I had their exact life. God has something way better for me, way special for me, which is tailored for me, and I'm going to embrace that and thank Him for that and be content.
That's beautiful.
David sent a message saying, I remember not liking my younger sister, so I started to run away from her in her PJs. Unfortunately, she ran after me, and doing so, I fell down, sliding forward, and her PJ pants slid down. Without thinking, immediately turned around to pick her up and pulling her pants quickly back up and giving her the biggest hug so she wouldn't cry and walk her home to mom. So that's good. Good on you, David, for helping your little sister. I wish that I could have had similar things, regarding to my brother. Actually, one time, I pulled my brother, and he hit his head against the corner of a table. He needed to go to the hospital. My brother and I we used to fight a fair bit. Gladly, our relationship today is better than Jacob and Esau. So
hopefully.
It's actually pretty good. I love my brother.
I hope so.
But we definitely had our moments here and our brawls for sure. Let's give the answer to the quiz question. Producer Shell, please.
It was Matthias. He was who replaced Judas Iscariot.
That's right. And I always cheered for the other guy just because his name was Joseph. And I wanted Joseph to be one of the disciples. So that couldn't be the case. So I had to make myself a disciple.
His name meant Joseph? I wrote Barnabas. I was like, hold on. Is it Joseph or is it Barnabas? Is it both?
What was the other? Was it Barnabas or it was something
Barsabas.
Barsabas or something like that. Yeah.
Was
So
also
it
named
wasn't.
I
Joseph.
wasn't even right for the running. I was so close. Oh, man.
Very good. Yes, probably like name and surnames.
Barnabas was the son of encouragement. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
Absolutely. We also have something that I'm giving away today, particularly for children or people that like to color in. I have a
love
coloring
coloring in.
page from the story of Joseph. A couple of models you can choose from.
Can I have one?
And yes, of course, you
Awesome.
can have
Great.
one. And if you would like to have one as well, listener, everything that you need to do is something very simple. Just text me here with hashtag coloring, and we are going to send that resource to you free of charge. You can print it, you can paint it, color it, and give it to someone. It's just going to be a beautiful time. Do you enjoy coloring, Lindsay? Is that something that you like?
I love coloring.
Yeah, I kind of like coloring as well.
Yeah.
It's very relaxing to me.
It is.
And in today's show, we are going to move on to our next segment where we are going to give good news and some of the current news. I'm going to be talking about a new research that came from the United States and with a bit of a wake-up call for Protestant churches in America. There are more Protestant churches closing down than they are opening.
Oh.
We're also going to have Justin Lawson joining us. He's going to be talking to us about what's going on with Greenland. There's a lot of Greenland in the news.
Okay.
He's going to be giving us some updates on the hate speech laws that are being discussed at a federal level here in Australia.
True.
Canada and the New World Order. What's going to happen with Canada? And if we have time, he also promised that we can talk about Iran.
Man, so many juicy topics right
Juicy
there.
topics. And you are going to be talking about an eclipse that's coming up.
Thanks for being a part of the Faith FM family. Join our community on Facebook or get in touch at 1-800-FAITH-FM.